Women with daddy issues. Now, guys, when it come down to dealing with women with daddy issues, you got to understand that these women, they was not raised with a father. So a lot of times they're very insecure. They very needy, need a ton of attention. They need a ton of validation. And most likely they're looking for a father when it come down to dealing with a man in a relationship. And these type of women are very, very narcissistic. Very, very narcissistic. Manipulative, egocentric. And the reason why they want to be in a relationship is because they want you to treat them like a baby. You know, they want you to treat them as if they're your daughter and you're their father. But at the same time, y'all in a relationship, like you her boyfriend and she your girlfriend. Like that, all at the same time. This is what they want. And you got to understand that these type of women, when it come down to being in a relationship with a man, they don't want to do no giving. They do not like to give. The only thing they gonna give you is basically just sex in exchange for you buying them things, taking them places, giving them attention, and giving them what they want. And they're gonna try to manipulate you with their body. They're gonna try to use their body to manipulate you to get what they want. Because that's what a narcissistic woman does. And this is what these type of women are. You know, they have bad attitudes. They got a lot of, a lot of times a lot of built up anger. And when they can't get their way in a relationship, they're going to basically just cause chaos and drama and talk back and get extremely mad at you. And when she gets extremely mad, you're going to be able to tell that, she has some sort of hatred for men. Yeah, women with daddy issues. This is what you're going to be dealing with. And women with daddy issues, they don't like no accountability whatsoever. That's why they're looking for, the majority of the time, an older man, a sugar daddy, a trick. This is what they're looking for. Women with daddy issues. You got to understand that these women going to give you a ton of problems. And it's just all about them. They don't want to give nothing to you. They don't want to offer no good communication. I mean, you can't learn too much nothing from them except, how to stay away from a lot of these women. You got to understand, women with daddy issues, they want you to do all the work in a relationship. And they always think some man owed them something. Every man owed them something. You guys got to be aware of these type of women. Because these type of women, they like to play manipulative games. They want you to chase them. They don't want to put in, like I said, no effort. They don't. They don't bring knowledge to the table. They don't want to bring wisdom to the table. They just want to bring, baggage, trauma, anger, and a manipulative spirit, and a narcissistic personality disorder. These type of women, they need therapists, but they refuse to get help, and they need to be diagnosed by a psychologist. They need to be diagnosed by a psychologist, but they don't want that. They just want to continue to be selfish and thinking that the world evolves around them. They do. Guys, you don't want to deal with these type of women. You don't want to deal with these type of women. They don't really understand men. They don't really understand men. You know, when you telling her, you know, what she's doing wrong, she see that as you complaining. When you trying to correct her and tell her to do right, she see that as you complaining. You being a girl. You know, women with daddy issues, these type of women, they're very, very fast. They grow up fast. Their body develop for their brain does. Because these are the type of women that have sex, start having sex at a young age, start having kids at a very young age. These women, they don't be having no direction in life, no plan, no strategy. A lot of times, you know, no job, no house, no career, none of that. They just be coming with kids. These are the type of women that you got to be aware of, guys. Because they're looking for, a lot of times, a stepfather. Because these are the type of women, in their younger years, they get ran through by a ton of thugs. Because this is what they like, a street dude. These are the type of women that you see online, you know, showing their butt, half naked, have the lowest self-esteem, don't have no morals, don't have no integrity. The only thing that they can offer a man is just selling their body. Basically. Just sex. You know, they really don't have respect for men. They really have some sort of hatred towards men. If you're not doing what they say, they're very controlling. A lot of these women are not submissive. It is their way or the highway. These type of women in their early 20s or late teens have a baby by a bum. Some thug that run the streets, some drug dealer. These are the type of women that are attracted to bad guys. These are the type of women that stay in dysfunctional relationships for the longest, toxic relationships. But when a good man, you know, tried to come along before they had that baby in their early 20s or their late teens, she didn't want a good man. She didn't want a man with, you know, morals and integrity that treat her good. She wanted a guy that's rough on her, a roughneck. These are the type of women with daddy issues. These are the type of women that, you know, that came up with this I'm strong and independent mindset, this diva mindset. They live in a fantasy world. They believe in Disney movies at young ages. So it messed their minds up. Thinking that they deserve the world. A man supposed to get them everything in exchange of just her just, you know, giving you sex. These are the type of women with daddy issues. These are the type of women that's over emotional. Can't control their emotions for nothing. Because they were raised by a woman. And she was over emotional. Women with daddy issues. These type of women that promote prostitution. You see them promoting it online. Or, you know, if you don't pay for this, you can't have this. Or, I don't date broke boys. These type of women that hide, you know, I don't date broke boys up under prostitution. These are the type of women. Because all they have to offer is their body. These type of women, you know, with daddy issues that wear a ton of makeup, even if they're beautiful, they wear a ton of makeup because they're very insecure and have low self-esteem. Women with daddy issues. You know, women with daddy issues, these are the type of women that like guys that, you know, manipulate their emotions and take them on an emotional roller coaster. So they get with these thugs, violent thugs that run the streets. Because this is what these thugs do, you know, take them on an emotional roller coaster. She's driving the car, he, you know, jumping out the car, robbing and stealing. This is what they like. These are the type of women that have, you know, really bad attitudes, bad spirits. And they don't appreciate good men. These type of women that will go on a date with you, smile in your face, pretend as if she has high interest, and once you pay for the meal and the date is over with, you don't hear from her never again. These type of women that flake on dates, you know, they want you to double text them. They want you to worship them. These type of women that, you know, they don't really respect men because their mother taught them that, you know, men ain't this and men ain't that. Women with daddy issues. These are the type of women that stay with guys that abuse them for years, that stay with guys that cheat on them for years, and they be still letting the guy smash. You know, these type of women that when they come down to a good man, when you try to come along, you know, to try to help her out, she rejects you. She rejects you when you want her. But the dude that's in a relationship with her, that's cheating on her, you know, that she in a dysfunctional relationship with, she still want him. She don't want a good man. She wants some street dude, you know, that's hard on her, that called her a B, you know, that cuss her out. She doesn't want, you know, the good guy that treats her really, really good until after she has a baby, when she becomes a single mother. This the women with daddy issues. This is what you're dealing with. Another thing about women with daddy issues is that they only care about, you know, what you provide for them. That's all they care about in a relationship. You know, she doesn't really care about you in a relationship. She cares about the materialistic items that you purchasing her or where you taking her. She don't care about you because once you stop, she's gone. Women with daddy issues, they really not loyal to you genuinely. It's all about materialism, the money, what you're doing for them. They can be very cold-hearted, rebellious, and very, very mean. And they act very, very childish in a relationship. They don't want to act like a woman, a grown woman. They want to act like a childish girl, a narcissist that have no responsibility. Guys, women with daddy issues, they come with too many problems. They come with too many problems. Hope you guys got some up out of this video. Y'all like, comment, share this video. Subscribe. It's Coleman.